I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today I want to talk about a dungeon jail cell that I've designed for the Origins Castle Grayskull, and I think it's something that came out really nicely, and I just really kind of want to share it with you guys. So one of the best action features and playsets in history has been with Castle Grayskull, the trap door. You place a figure up here, you turn the chair or the throne, and the trap door opens and the figure falls to the level below. One of the most talked about or controversial things since the original Castle Grayskull, so for the last 40 years, is the fact that the figure falls, and there's nothing more than a sticker here. Now the sticker, we all know the sticker, the Well of Souls, it's that grate that's facing up, so it kind of makes it, it gives the illusion that there's a cell or a dungeon down below and the creatures are trying to come up. So you have to use your imagination, but as kids, we always wanted something more, and I think that's something that's carried until today. Now, Mattel did give us this Well of Souls a couple of years ago, and this was pretty neat. It has a little clip on the bottom here. You can clip it to the bottom of the castle right here, and then it's got the grate that opens, and it makes for a nice stand-in for the Well of Souls. It also came with one of the creatures that you could clip on here. You could either clip it on there with the grate open, or you can clip it with the grate closed. Either way is neat to have, but you still don't really have a dungeon where you can put your figures. So I took a little bit of inspiration from two things. I took this idea for this clip right here, because I wanted to make something that would clip onto the castle. And then I also took inspiration from the dungeon cell that was made with the Classics Castle Grayskull, and I came up with this. I've made two of these. And what this is a dungeon cell that will clip on to the bottom of Grayskull right here under the door, so that we have a proper, functioning dungeon cell down here. Now, I wanted a couple of things for this, and I was able to accomplish most of them because, of course, you have to work with the design of Grayskull. Now, first and foremost, what I wanted the most, and I think what we all wanted the most, is for the figure to fall down into the cell. And unfortunately, because of the design, that's just not going to happen. The trapdoor itself ends about a quarter of a way into the door of the drawbridge for Castle Grayskull itself. So unless you wanted to make the dungeon cell come out halfway through the opening, that's just not going to happen. You cannot have the figures falling into the dungeon, because then we would be taking away the function of the drawbridge. And of course, that's way too important of a play feature for me to want to take away. So that's kind of one of the things that I wanted for this to happen, for this to do, that unfortunately, because of the design, it just wasn't going to. What I did want is I wanted a wall with an actual cell on it. I wanted a side wall with a window, and I wanted the trap door to still work. So I went through a couple of designs, and like I said, I made two of these. And these are, so I have the little clip down there so that we can clip them under the bottom of Grayskull. And then what I've done is on the side wall, I took these bars and I angled them. So I angled the side wall, and that allowed me to accomplish three things. Number one, it gave me the window with bars that I wanted on the side window here. Number two, it has that grate that's pointing up, so it still creates the illusion of the original sticker of the prisoners kind of looking up and wanting to get out of the cell and kind of reaching out, kind of a thing. So it still gives that illusion that the original sticker for the Well of Souls did. And number three, and probably the most important, is that it still allows the trap door to work. So the way this is going to work, again, this is going to clip in right here to the bottom of Grayskull. This last flat panel here is going to slip in right here next to the door. And so I made two of these because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go with this. So I just made two, see which one I liked best. And I wasn't really sure which one I was going to like best until I actually built them both, right? So here's the first one. And I made that extended much like this one. So if you clip this in the Grayskull as well, so they're both extended like that. And I think that looks pretty neat. You've got a full wall up here. So that's one. And so just to test it out, we'll go ahead. I also did we'll bring this one in since this one is loose. I also, originally, the front gate here was built into the wall itself. That was my first design. And then I figured out how to make a hinged working gate. So this will actually open and close. So I don't have the one with the solid gate anymore. I've given that one away. Gave that one away to Patriot Prime. He has that one in his collection now. And then these are the later designs that have the opening gate. So they clip in right there. And then you'll be able to put up a figure up here again. And so, you know, again, we cannot, we'll go ahead and turn the chair, and the figure's going to fall. He put his hand out. So obviously the trapdoor isn't going to open all the way. It opens at an angle. So what you saw there just now, because I had his hand out, he kind of caught it. He kind of caught himself. So you want the arms to go down, but still you're able to turn the chair, and as you can see, the trapdoor still works. The figures will still fall. And so now you can play with it, and okay, so you've fallen, you've been captured, we can open the door and we can bring you in here into the jail cell itself. And there's plenty of room in there for lots of figures. We'll go commando. I hate doing commando camera, but what are you gonna do? So you can see you've got all of the room that the castle originally had in there. You can see the full sticker, so we're not touching that. There's no danger of damaging that. And there's Beastman in there. You can also see him up here, kind of reaching out. There's also a little bit of room here into the front, and you can close that gate. And this latch right here, I made it so that it will just kind of pressure close and hold in place. Plenty of room in there. You could put a handful of figures. You could put maybe 3 or 4 figures in there. I don't want to do that, but you could, if you wanted to stick 3 or 4 figures in there, you could do that. So that's one design there. We'll put the camera back here. And we'll take this one out. And you'll see now you can take this out and Beastman will still be standing right there. No problem, no changes there. So here's one design. This is the one I think I'm not going to keep. I'm not going to stick with this one for 2 reasons. Once I created the one with the flat wall, so it's the same thing. The only difference is that it's shorter, so that when this one clips on, it will be kind of flush with the castle walls itself. So aesthetically, yes, it's a little smaller, but aesthetically, I kind of like this better. It looks more like it belongs there, at least to my eye. That just looks more like it belongs there. And 2, it's less prone to failure. What I have found with this one is that you have to put this one into the castle just right. Otherwise, that trapdoor could hit the sidewall here and it doesn't open all the way. I've had it happen a couple of times. Fortunately, it didn't happen just now when I showed it to you, which is very rare because normally when I'm shooting videos is when things go wrong. So there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll put Beastman up here again. And again, aesthetically, I just kind of like this one better. As you can see, with it flat like that, to my eye, it just looks more like that's what should be there, right? It doesn't impede the operation of the drawbridge. That still works perfectly fine. We still have all of the room down here that we needed to have, and we still have a functioning trapdoor. So we can drop Beastman right through there, reset that. It's also easier to get to the door. With this one, you kind of have to reach another side to get to the trapdoor. With this one, the trapdoor's right there. You can just pull it up. It just seems simpler and easier to work with this design. I like the idea of the extended, bigger dungeon, but this just seems simpler. It's easier to play with, and it just seems to fit better. And again, we can put Beastman right in there. And again, what I did with the hinges here, these are pin hinges, so you put the door into the hinges and you drop a pin through them. With these, what I did is I put a little ball inside there so that when you push this in, it just kind of clicks into place. And there he is. There's Beastman right there. We'll bring the camera, we'll commando camera this again. There's Beastman right there, and you can still also see him through the top grates there. So you still kind of get that well of souls kind of an effect right there, where the prisoners could be kind of reaching out and trying to escape, just like in the original sticker. Let's try Merman here holding his sword. Let's see what happens when he's holding his sword. And we'll turn that, and there he goes. And he fell through, and he's also been disarmed. So I mean, yeah, they're not falling into the dungeon cell itself, but they're following an entire story without any warning. So I think they're incapacitated enough where guards could grab them and put them into the jail cell. No problem. Move over, Beastman. You got yourself a roomie. And we'll put Merman right in there. And as you can see, we've got room in there for 2 figures. We can fit a whole 2 figures in there. No problem. Here we go again with the commando camera. You can see the 2 of them in there. Bunk buddies. Now, jail cell buddies. So, very happy with this. Like I said, I'll probably just not continue making this one. It was a neat idea to have the extended one out, but I just really love the way that this one turned out, and I think this is the way I'm going to go. So, I've made this for myself. I am going to give this one away. I have an idea of who I'm going to give this away to already, so I think that one's already been claimed. I'm going to stick with this design right here. If this is something that you're interested in, reach out to me. Send me a message. I think I'm going to start printing these out and putting them up for sale. So if this is something that you're interested in, let me know. These are 3D printed, and then I coated them with UV resin to get rid of all of the print lines and whatnot, make it look nice and smooth. And then and then I painted it, hand painted them, and I did my best to match the actual walls of Grayskull. I think this one I matched a little better than this one. This one came out a little darker, but that's fine. This one also is prone to, as you can see, scratching here on the bottom. When I put it in and out of the castle, the paint kind of scratched off of this one here, so maybe I need to make that a little thinner. This one, not so much. So there it is. There's the 3D printed add-on dungeon cells for Origins Castle Grayskull. What did you think? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.